And then I literally went into the restroom of Prime Time and I cried. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, can I do this? And it was just kind of like I know I can do it. Being out of town this weekend and people coming up to me saying, you that barber girl? It's like, it's crazy. I think it was more of like I looked up to Prime Time.
Yeah.
Like the people in the shop.
Yeah.
Not necessarily one person, but just everyone, you know, like.
I told Tiffany you was coming up here.
Who?
Tiffany. She was just here.
Oh, you told her I was coming up here?
She's like, let me get out of here so I don't make her more nervous.
I definitely would have been more nervous if she was here.
If she was here? That's funny.
I would have probably been looking at her like.
Yeah, when she was coming on here, she was nervous.
I know.
She was like, man, I sound so weird on the mic. And then she started getting real corporate once we started.
That's how I feel. I feel like it makes me more nervous hearing myself through here. Because I'm like, I sound like,
Nah, you don't sound nothing.
Because I never hear myself like this. Like, it feels like if I were hearing myself from someone else's point of view.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
So it's like cringy a little bit.
You just, I mean, you should be used to it by now. You've been making a lot of videos recently.
Yeah, that's different.
What?
I don't know. It's just like live.
This is a lot like hardcore.
Yeah. It's
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I just wanted to put into perspective for you on like why I wanted to bring you on the podcast. You know what I mean? Especially what's crazy to me is how this was like the perfect time to bring you on.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in the last couple, literally 1 month, like you've blown up on social media. You've gotten a lot more like traction on social media. And honestly, I'm not surprised. I've told you that from the get-go. You know what I mean? Like, I think I told you a long time ago that I expected this. Like, I expected nothing less. You know what I mean? For those of you guys who don't know who I am, my name is Nelson, and this is Cedra. She's one of my barbers who works at Primetime at the North location. She's been with me for how many years now?
4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
And they flew by. Honestly, they flew by. And to see where you are now is crazy. And I'm glad we're having this talk on the podcast because we haven't had this talk like in person.
Yeah.
And I kind of been holding back. We hung out in Dallas this past weekend. And I was like, you know what? I'm not really going to chop it up with her. Because I was like, we're going to have this podcast. And I kind of wanted everything to be let out on the podcast. You know what I mean? For you, is it crazy to think like where you are now compared to like where you were a year ago? Because I don't think you were in the same position you were a year ago.
No.
Yeah. How do you feel about it?
I feel good about it. I definitely feel like it is big. It is a big change, especially since I wasn't necessarily trying to get so big and like where I am right now. It was kind of just, let me just be consistent with a different style of content, you know? So it definitely is like, it feels crazy for sure.
I know because for those of you who don't know, I've worked at the North shop since it's been open, you know, but I recently left like in December. So that's been like 9 months since I left. And when I left, you wasn't really posting like that. You wasn't really posting like that. You were grinding. That's one thing that's for sure. That's one thing that I definitely want to touch base on here in a little bit is how hard you work. You know what I mean? But one thing that I noticed was, like, as soon as I left, like, you kind of started picking it up when it pertained to social media. You know what I mean? What do you think, made that happen?
Like, what made me start posting a lot
more?
more?
Yeah. What happened? Because, like, it wasn't a thing, and then it became a thing.
Honestly, I really don't know. Like, sometimes I think I just get in phases of where, like, over the years, I think I would, like, get in phases of where I would, like, just enjoy the content part of the job. And I think I just got into a phase and I just didn't get out of it. Yeah.
Didn't get out of it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, like, I want to go rewind a little bit to the beginning. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna correlate to where you are now, I think. Because when I first met you, I heard about you from a barber. You know what I mean? I was like looking for some barbers to hire and stuff. And he's like, yo, he went to school with you. His name is Ray. And he was like, yo, have you heard of that new barber that's in school? Like a young girl, right? And I was like, nah, what's her name? And he's like, Cedra, she does eyebrows. She did my eyebrows. She does it at her mom's house right now. You know what I mean? And I was like, what's her Instagram? Let me hit her up. You know, so I hit you up on Instagram. And did you know who I was at the time?
Yes, I did know.
You did know?
Yeah.
Okay, I was the owner of Primetime.
Yes.
So when I hit you up, I was like, man, I'm gonna go over there and check her out and see what's going on, you know? So to put in perspective where Cedra is from, like, she's from Wichita. And she's from Wichita. You know what I'm saying? She's from
the trenches.
The trenches, yes. The trenches, you know. Like, I pulled up, she gave me the address, I pulled up.
You like,
and there was some gates. I was like, hold on. Where we at? And I texted you. I was like, I think I'm here. And you popped outside, and I walked in. I met your mom, you know, and there was a couple other kids in there at the time. But you were like, come on, I'm downstairs. You were really quiet. You know what I mean? You just started doing my eyebrows. And honestly, since I met you then, you know what I mean? And you did my eyebrows. You did a good job. I left there, and I went back, and I think it was Eric or Ivan. I can't remember who it was. I told him, I was like, yo, she there's something about her that there's an it factor to who she is and what she does. Like, I couldn't explain it. I hadn't seen it in too many people. You know what I mean? So I did something with you I never did with nobody else, and I think you remember. Because you were in school. You were in school, and I was like, "What's up? Do you down to do a tryout?" Because I knew you knew how to do eyebrows, but I didn't know if you could cut hair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Yo, you want to come do a tryout at the shop, at the shop?"
I have not seen a tryout since.
And well, let me tell you something. You are the only person ever of the history of Primetime to ever do a tryout. You came to the shop. Do you remember who was there watching you?
Isaiah.
Yeah, it was
Isaiah. I think you
and,
had.
and it was me, Isaiah. I think Eric was there, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was there. But you brought your client in, and you were cutting hair. And well, you remember how nervous you were?
I was so nervous.
Yeah,
I do remember.
You didn't say nothing. You started cutting, and you did the cut. It wasn't bad at all for someone in school, and you left, and I was like, dude, I have to hire her. Nobody has ever came in here and did a damn tryout. Ever. And I was like, yeah, I have to hire her, man. I was like, I'm going to message her later on, tell her to come to the North Shop. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And do you remember those days?
Yes, I do.
Yeah?
Very vividly.
Yeah, vividly, right? How old were you at that time?
That was 2020, so I was 19.
19?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you had just got out of high school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a question I never asked you, even then, is like, what? So you were already doing brows at home, right? Mm-hmm. Even before barber college?
Yes, I started doing eyebrows at 14.
14, mm-hmm. And you was just always done eyebrows. Mm-hmm. Did you ever do any other jobs?
Yeah, I had other jobs. That was really just like something I was doing for my friends and family because I knew how to do it. So I did work actual jobs though.
Like where?
I've worked Freddy's, and JCPenney and Quick Trip.
Quick Trip?
Yep.
Okay, so
Quick
you had
Trip
a couple.
was my last job. Quick Trip I had in Barber School. Quick Trip is where I was at in Barber School.
Explain to me your hours when you were in school and then to barber college.
So I went to school, I think it was 9 to 4:30 or something like that, and then I actually worked at the Quick Trip right there by Paul Mitchell, so I would literally change in the bathroom at school and then go to work.
And what time would you go in and what time would you get off?
5, and then I think to 9.
To 9?
Yeah.
So part-time?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. See, I didn't know that. I knew you worked at Quick Trip, but I thought that was while you were like in high school. I'm not sure.
Yeah, in high school also. It was like my senior year and then barber school time.
Really?
Like barber school year.
So when you were in barber college, you was really grinding.
Mm-hmm.
You was really working hard because that's not easy to go to school and then literally go work a job. And more than likely, you were probably still doing some brows at the time.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you decide barber college? Because you could have went to cosmetology, because that kind of rolls with what, like, the brow thing. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So why barbering?
I actually never considered doing women's hair.
Really?
So that's first of all. I never considered doing women's hair. I felt like I had enough of women like out of doing eyebrows. So I was like, what could I do to add like men's clientele in there? So obviously, barber school. But prior to that, though, I was actually going to I wanted to go to law school when I was in high school. I took a trip to Atlanta for my senior trip to gift to myself or whatever. And when I was there, I just seen so many young, successful Black people. Like, so many. Like, Wichita, I'm like, I ain't seeing this in Wichita,
Yeah.
So just to see that, I was like, I'm about to go back home and go to barber school. Because when I was in my senior year, I was like, maybe I can do barber school while I'm finishing my senior year. But then I learned that you had to have your GED or, your diploma to go to barber school. So that was out. So, once I came back from that trip, I was like, I cannot go to like college right now, like law school right now. I cannot do that. So I talked to my parents. My mom, she didn't really like the fact that I wanted to go to barber school. She was definitely for college. But my dad, he was like, do the short-term thing first. If it don't work, if you don't like it, law school will still be there. And so I went with what my dad said. Because I don't know, I take a lot of what my dad says into perspective, I think, more than my mom.
Why so?
So I don't know.
Do you feel like you're a lot more like your dad than your mom? Yeah.
Yeah, I do think. Yeah, and everyone says I am.
Yeah.
So.
In what sense? I've met your dad before, so I kind of agree. But like, why you say that?
I don't know.
And like,
I really don't know. But I do feel like I am.
Yeah, in like the swaggier way, I would say, because that guy has a lot of drip. You know what I mean? He comes into the coolest guy in the shop when he walks in. You know what I mean? So, okay, that's probably who you get it from.
Yes. And I mean, I will say my dad was a barber, but not like how I was. Like, he just kind of knew how to do it. He would do it for my cousins. He did it on the side. He was never like full-time passionate about it. So he likes to say I chose that because of him. But I definitely think it was kind of just like a impulsive thing, kind of. And then I grew to become passionate about it. Like, initially, I wasn't just like, I want to be a barber. It was just kind of like, this is going to give me some money. This is going to give me some money fast. I do feel like I will enjoy it, but this will get me to where I think I want to be.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I never knew that backstory on, like, that whole situation. You know what I mean? I was always curious because, I mean, for the most part, you're kind of quiet, not like quiet in the shop, but you kind of stick to yourself, especially when you first started. You know what I mean? You came into the shop with a bunch of guys. So, I mean, I think Tasha was there at the time. So you had another girl you can speak to, you know what I mean? But after you got out of barber college, you came straight to the North Shop. You know what I mean? Straight to the North Shop, a young girl going into entering the barber scene. You know what I mean? And at that time, if I'm not mistaken, there wasn't too many. You know what I mean? There wasn't too many at all. And I think for you, when you first started, one of the first things you would always work on is like how to cut, right? Because you came in, you knew the basics, but like you weren't crispy. You know what I mean? And I think you knew that. Do you feel like you knew that from the beginning, the things you needed to work on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Why you say that?
Just being around such talented people, and seeing the haircuts they were putting out, it was just like, oh yeah, I got to get crispier.
Yeah,
like I got to get better, So just seeing that was like, I knew I had something to work on.
Yeah. And you've always been surrounded around some good barbers, man.
Always.
Like, for real. You've been surrounded around some good barbers.
Yeah.
And like, I've noticed, like, when you didn't know something, you would ask. You know what I mean? And another thing that I like about you, something that you always did, was you send me, like, at the beginning, you don't do it no more because you're already crispy. But you used to send me a picture or a video of, like, is there a line in this? Or do you see something in this? Is there something? I'm not going to post it because I just don't think it looks right. And I used to be like, bro, just post it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because later on you see your progress, but you never did. And honestly, one of the things that, like, I've noticed about, like, just my barbers and just business in general is that everything is about timing. Everything is about timing. So how old are you now?
23.
23. So it's been about 4 years. So what do you like while in your journey of barbering, like what's one thing that you look back on and remember like, damn, this was something that happened to me that like kind of like pushed me towards getting better? Was there like a haircut that you messed up
There,
or something that somebody told you?
yeah, there was 2 times actually. So actually, I don't know if this was one time altogether or if it was 2 different times, but I think I had someone not pay me the full amount of the haircut. And then I literally went into the restroom at prime time and I cried. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, can I do this? And it was just kind of like, I know I can do it. I just got to keep pushing.
See, and what's crazy is you never told anybody about that.
Nah.
You never did. You kept that to yourself. You probably like cleaned up in there and came back outside and had cut again. You know what I mean? Like that's tough. You know what I'm saying? Especially being that young. You know what I mean? And being a girl. You know, because I've seen it multiple times when a guy will come in and he won't want to get cut by a female. You know what I'm saying? And nah, I'm gonna wait for him. You know what I mean? And I think you guys have all. When I say you guys, like the girls that are the female barbers that I've had, I think you guys always took it like, okay, whatever, you know, took it. But I know probably deep down inside, did you feel some type of way about that?
Yes, in the beginning, for sure.
Yeah.
But not too much
No.
because I knew I had to get better.
Yeah.
And it almost kind of made me feel like a relief because I would rather have someone who is comfortable and someone who's comfortable, and even though I might have been new, would be more open to, you know, like, it's okay if you don't fully know what you're doing. Just at least try to give me the best you can. You know, I'd rather have that than someone who's literally just like, oh, no, I don't want to go to a woman.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. For sure. I think I've seen that. I've seen it a few times, and a lot of guys gave you a shot, you know, and then they ended up coming back, you know. From when you really look into like your career and being inside of the shop and actually getting reps in and cutting a lot, you know, because people from the outside looking in, sometimes they just see the content, you know what I mean? But I really don't think they understand how hard it was to actually get to that point of being booked, of doing haircuts that you actually like, you know what I mean? And getting acknowledged for it. Because a lot of times you do that and nobody ever notices, you know what I mean? Especially now because of social media, you know? So, like, being inside of the shop, who's a barber you really looked up to? Because I know there's somebody you had to go in there and be like, damn. Or a little bit from everybody. You just don't want.
Yeah, I'll say a little bit from everybody. I ain't gonna lie, like, honestly, a little bit from everybody, just because I was around so many, like, especially when I first started, everybody in the shop was crispy.
Yep.
Literally everybody in the shop was crispy, like, so I think it was more of like I looked up to prime time.
Yep.
Like the people in the shop,
Yep.
not necessarily one person, but just everyone, you know, like, I don't know.
I'm glad you said that because that shit makes me feel good because at the end of the day, I think you know, you can hear the meetings. My whole objective has always been to find like a good group that I can put together that can create some good haircuts and be in a good environment. And right now at the North Shop, you guys have that. I feel like you guys have that. You guys are going crazy on social media.
Yeah.
Everybody over there, especially you know. And for those who don't know, Ivan just left, you know, and Ivan was somebody in social media that was going crazy, you know. So when he left, I was like, man, I'm gonna sit back and watch and see what happens at the North Shop because what I've learned through experience is someone picks up the slack. You know what I'm saying? It always happens. Somebody will come in and just pick it up. You know, do you feel like, I know it's not about him leaving or anything like that, but do you feel like right before that you were posting, but like did something happen when he dipped out and you were like, man, there's like a lane there that I can hop in? Or did you didn't look at it that way?
No.
Because it's kind of crazy by coincidence. As soon as he left, you fucking blew up and you passed him too.
I don't know. I think I kind of just, I really don't know what happened. Like, what happened? I don't know. I just, right before August came, I was just like, you know what? This month I'm finna go on a 30-day run.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what happened. I know exactly what happened.
happened?
I wanted to ask you and see what you say. You started going to the gym. Dude, as soon as you started going to the gym, like, that's exactly when everything started happening. I think your brain started moving.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Your brain started moving. You started making different adjustments in your business, and in not only your business. So your business correlates with your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So you started cutting some stuff out. You started literally focusing on the gym, focusing on yourself, getting better, and it correlated into your business. You know what I mean? I from the outside looking in, that's what I think happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know what happened. The gym happened.
The gym did happen.
You know what I mean? And you started going and you started being consistent and you try to cut a lot of things off. And man, I think that's what happened. You know what I mean? And like I said, timing is everything. So I think it wasn't by coincidence that this happened. Right. You know what I mean? It was literally something that your career was leading to from the get-go, but it just happened at the right time because now you know how to cut. If that would have happened, 2 years ago, who knows how you would have been reciprocated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about, do your parents acknowledge your success? Do they say anything about it? What do they say?
They don't really say much. I mean, they definitely are proud of me and they congratulate me.
Yeah.
But I think I am a person who kind of like, I think I take everything like not for as big as it is. So I kind of like maybe water things down to my family just because I feel like there's still so much more I could have and do.
Yeah, for sure. This is like a small step.
Yes, but it's really not small.
No,
you know?
It's not.
And so to my family, like I'll be like, oh, I did this. And then mom, she'll be congratulating me and, proud of me. But I might not make it seem as big as it is to her because one of her friends or someone will tell her about it, or my parents will tell my mom, or someone will tell my parents about it, my mom about it, my mom will tell my dad about it. Can I restart all the way?
Yeah, go ahead. And then?
Yeah, that's when she'll realize that it is bigger than how I just explained it to her to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I just got to start really seeing things for how big they really are rather than feeling like it's not that big, just because I feel like I should be able to get more. Like, I just feel like I need to work harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, this is nice, but I can do more.
Yeah. And that's so crazy. That mindset is that's not an answer I expected from you. You know what I'm saying? But it makes sense, because sometimes like I have even when I was there at the North Shop before I left, hands down, you were like, I've talked to Ivan about this. You're always at the shop. Cutting hair. You know what I mean? You take a lunch break at 2:00 and you come back at 3. I know your schedule. Mm-hmm. You come in at 10, you leave at 6 or 7, and it's every day except for Mondays, Tuesday through Saturday, or you leave a little earlier on Saturday, but throughout the week you're there. You don't leave. And what I don't think people understand is you do a haircut and then you do some brows that are 20 minutes apart. So you do the haircut, hour, brows 20, another brows maybe 20 minutes, and then another brows 20, and then another haircut. Mm-hmm. So you're bouncing back from two different crazy things all at once. You know what I'm saying? And getting them right. From the brows to the haircut, And so your answer correlates to this because, man, when me and Ivan were talking in Dallas, like, you're like one of the hardest workers. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people will see the numbers, will see like 250,000 on Instagram, 300,000 on IG. You know, that shit ain't for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you that for real because just because of how hard you work. You know what I mean? It's so crazy to me. You know what I mean? Who do you think you get this hard work ethic from? Or do you think you just got it yourself?
I think I just got it myself.
For real?
I definitely think I just got it myself, like being in the shop and knowing that I got to show up for them appointments every day, knowing I got people depending on me, you know, to be there every day. And then
That's crazy.
I really don't know where I got it from. And I think that to myself sometime, like, nobody's making me get up and go to these appointments every day. Like, I can really go and be like, hey, y'all, I'm not going to be there today, actually. Like some other, you know, barbers out there may do. And I do get up and go every day. Like, I have to be there. Like, somebody going to fire me if I don't.
Yeah. And if you don't, and sometimes you've been there where you don't even feel good, you tough it out, you get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you grow up playing sports or anything? Did you grow up doing any, like...
And honestly, when I worked at jobs,
Were you like that when you worked?
I wasn't like that when I
wasn't
worked
like
jobs.
that. So you think
I would call in, be late, like, I don't know.
Man, is it maybe because of the motherfuckers you surrounded by? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think because, I mean, but then again, you was working harder than the motherfuckers you surrounded by sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I just think it must be something that you have inside of you that click with barbering, with your brows, with everything, a thing where you actually really care about doing it on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Do you think that's what it is?
Yep.
Man, do you think, man, that's crazy because, like, when you have that, I don't think there's very many limitations. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not very much that can stop you from going here or going there or doing this. You know what I mean? Taking this next step. You know what I mean? When you're in the shop, working and you have all these clients coming in and stuff like that, and you're tired, like, what do you tell yourself to keep going? Or you just zone it out, or what? What do you tell yourself?
Yeah, just to keep going because I can't stop. So it's like, who else gonna cut this head? Who else gonna do this brow? I just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Just gotta make it to the end of the day, end of the week, end of the month.
Damn, you're very humble about this shit because it's not easy to cut back to back like that. You know what I mean? Like, it really ain't. You know, and I keep saying it. It's not by coincidence that you're at the point in your career where you are now. What do you think? What do you think is next? Are you still thinking about it?
Yeah, still thinking
about it. Because like what I mean by that is, what are some things that maybe you can do, like, to continue to grow? Maybe outside of barbering. I mean, not outside of barbering, but like on a day-to-day basis, whether it be the gym, whether it be changing these habits, these things outside of the work. Like, is there things that you think about, like, man, I need to chill out on doing this because things are going good for me over here? You know what I'm saying? Do you think about that now because you have all these things on your plate?
Yes. I would say really the biggest thing is just waking up earlier. Because honestly, through this past month, I would be getting off work, having to, like, on the days where I'm not, like, already prepared with videos, I would have to get off work, edit a video, like, immediately after, try to get it done, like, as quick as I can. So I would post, so I could post it by a certain time. So I would literally get off work, go to the gym, and get on the treadmill or the Stairmaster first until I finished and posted the video.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like,
yeah,
I don't have balance between what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I need to wake up earlier and maybe edit before work or go to the gym before work. Because I'm like, right now I feel like I don't have enough time in the day.
Yeah.
To do everything, to maintain everything I'm doing.
Yeah. How do you feel about editing?
I get tired of it.
Yeah.
It's fun though. Like, I definitely like, you know, doing content, but it does get tiring sometime.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you feel like that is that what takes you the longest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than recording the videos?
Yes. For certain kind of content, it definitely takes me longer. It just depends on what kind of style video I'm doing, because some video styles can take me 30 minutes to an hour, and some can take me an hour plus. So it definitely just depends on what style of video I'm doing.
Do you feel like you've gotten a lot more comfortable with the consultations you've been doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Because you kind of just start chopping it up with them.
Right.
Like regular. At the beginning, it wasn't like that though, right? What do you think happened? You just got more comfortable?
Yeah, definitely just got more comfortable. And then just knowing that people are expecting it, because I feel like at first people probably didn't know what I was doing. So it's like, this is new to them. It's new to me too. Like, but now people expect, me to ask them questions and all that. So it's kind of like, so it's kind of like, we both comfortable.
Yeah.
We both a little more comfortable.
And you have clients that come in kind of looking for it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a client that comes in and be like, bro, you gonna get me on the camera?
I had one client actually like 2 weeks ago come in and want to be recorded. And I was just like, oh, I recorded you last time, and I'm running a little bit behind today. Like, maybe not today, And then like 20 minutes into the haircut, he's like, so why did you say you couldn't record me again today?
Damn.
I was just like,
he was mad.
Oh, I just don't have no time today. So, yeah, I think, yes, people definitely come in wanting to be recorded
Trying to get on the gram.
Yes.
That's crazy. I mean, the video you made last week, was it last week or this week? Dude that had 12 baby mamas?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? That was yesterday? Yo, so remember he came into the e-shop and I called you. I was like, yo, I had seen dude on Facebook. I was like, I think he got 12 baby mamas. But he's on the way to you. He's running a little late. He'll be over there. That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was
and I didn't know him.
You didn't know him?
Mm-mm.
That's crazy because it seemed like you guys knew each other when you were doing the consultation.
I mean, I've had him on social media because he is like pretty active, I think, in Wichita.
Here in
so
Wichita.
I've had him
He's
on
a
social
coach.
media. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I seen the post. Like I seen the post when I seen the name on my schedule. I'm like, I'm finna ask him about that. It's gonna be good,
Yeah.
Which the first round of me questioning him,
Yeah.
I didn't mention it because I was just like, I don't really know him. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to approach it. And then as soon as I ended it, I was like, man, I should have asked you about your 12 baby mamas. And he was like, I thought you were. So I'm like, bet, let's do it.
So you set it back up.
So then I set it back up, and then we did that part of the video. And then
that's after you guys warmed up to each other.
yeah. So then I just put that at the beginning of the video, and I went in and edited it. So
damn. So now that you have like this level of this you're like at a higher level on social media, do you think differently about how you make the video? You know what I'm saying? Do you go in and think about, like, you look at your schedule, like, damn, this person, I could talk to him about this, or this girl, I can talk to her about this?
yes.
Do you think about that now?
Yes. When I do know the client, I do, and knowing like when they've been, when the last time they came to see me, it's like I know whether their hair is grown out. And then, of course, having my clients on social media, I know when they're about to come in looking crazy because I've been seeing them on social media, so I know that may be good to do some content on. And then sometimes, like new people, sometimes I do look them up because I'm just like, oh, who's this coming in, so I can kind of see if that may be someone that I feel like I should record or something
Should
like
record.
that. Yeah.
Right now, like on a daily basis, like how often do you record? Is it just one cut a day, or do you try to record more than one?
It just depends. Some days I'll be waking up, I'm like, I'm feeling like I'm going to be in that zone today. And I might record every haircut I do that day. And then some days it might be, some days I have clients who might have all just been there last week. So I'm like, I'm not going to record them,
Yeah. I had asked Ivan this, and I had asked the guys from VCS this. Is there a client that you can say really helped you out through your career, like maybe from the beginning, that you still cut, like somebody that's, when I talk to you about like your favorite client, like who comes to mind? Can you think of somebody?
Oh my gosh, my clients are going to feel some type of way about this.
I know, because they're going to listen to this.
My favorite client.
It doesn't need to be favorite, but who's somebody that you can think of that, like, when I bring that up, that pops into your head? You don't know?
I will say everyone that, like, I remember every single person that came to my basement in my mama's house
Really?
for eyebrows.
Really?
Like, I remember every single client because I feel like, and even prior to me doing them out of the basement in my mom's house, because I used to do them in the kitchen before that, and only a few people know about the kitchen days, and then even the days in 2018, I want to say, I had posted a post on Facebook, and I was like, eyebrows, $5 today, $5 extra if I have to come to you. And I literally went to people's house and did their eyebrows with a razor, tweezers, and my alcohol to clean up everything. Like, and I definitely remember those people.
Yeah.
Just because it's like me going to people's house,
That's crazy.
y'all sitting on y'all couch, me doing your eyebrows, and like that. I remember those people. And then I do also have another client who is my most viral video on my TikTok. The first client my client that I cut bald, that I used to shave his head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I cut him every week for 3 years straight.
And he took care of you. What's his name?
I don't know his real name.
But what's his
I
name?
cannot think of his real name right now. But he goes by Baby Cherry.
Baby Cherry.
Baby
He's the one
Cherry.
that went viral that everybody was like, what's his ad?
Yeah.
What's his ad?
Yeah. That video went crazy. But I will say, like, every week for 3 years, $100 every week.
Every week.
And he, I will say, got me the most comfortable with, like, the razor.
When you first started doing his hair, were you getting them right, or did you develop into like getting him as crispy as you were getting
I
them
think
now?
I developed.
Yeah.
Because especially when it comes to, like, doing the facial hair, he had a bald head, so I had to get crispy with the facial hair. You know, that's I ain't got no facial hair. So it's like, you know, just learning the different styles, the different shapes of the beard, like how it fits a face, how a beard fits a face, like all that, and just the comfortability of using a razor. Like, I don't know. I think that definitely helped me out a lot. And then lately I've had a lot of bald men coming in from seeing that video, because it is pinned at the top of both my profiles. And it's just like,
Do you like
people
doing
are
those?
willing to pay, like, because of that video, people are like willing to pay top dollar just to get your beard cleaned up.
Yeah.
You know, and then not only that, but it also helped me a lot when it came to, you know, a full haircut with a beard trim. I think prior to him, I was good at cutting hair, but the facial work, it was like the facial hair, I wasn't there. And that really, like, helped me a lot. Having him every week and being, and trusting that the next week it'll be crispier. The next week it'll be crispier, you know, and being comfortable. And some days I might have nicked him. He's like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, you know. So I definitely think that helped me a lot, because I did used to be very, like,
Scary.
yeah,
with
when
the
it came
razor.
to the facial hair and the razor.
And for those of you guys who are listening and don't really know like how hard it is to razor somebody, what she's talking about is the mustache and the inside of the mouth.
The inside of here.
Yeah, because a lot of barbers don't do that.
I used to watch you do it and be like, man, how is he doing this?
See, like me, my thing has always been the razor. I've always liked razoring. You know what I'm saying? Every time somebody came over, I'm like, watch this. You know, you can hear everything inside. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
the crunch.
The crunch. And then I always like doing that. But he was like one of the only guys you hot tiled. I remember. You would hot towel him, and you would take care of him and get him right. And I hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was going to ask you this. So, like, how important is it? Because a second ago, you were saying that, like, it's not, like, everything is going good for you and you're doing really well. But to you, sometimes it seems like it's not that big of a deal because you know that you can do better. You know what I'm saying? How important is it to you? Because I think you do everything that you do is for, like, to see what you can become. Like, how important is it to you to really become that person that you really want to become?
Very important.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like just for anybody who, you know, has goals in life, it's just like you want to get to the best, you want to become the best you that you can be. And I just feel like that's just how I feel about it. I just want to see how much better it can get, how much better it can keep getting if I keep working hard, how much better it can get.
And you wanted to see what you can become.
Right.
Right. And you're slowly evolving to that. You know what I'm saying? And you're only 23. You know what I mean? Do you feel like you set yourself like to a higher standard, that you have to do this, that you
Yes.
have to move this way, that you have to go above and beyond everybody else? Do you feel that?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
though? Why do you think that?
I won't even necessarily say it's compare to other people. It's just like, I don't know, it's just something in me that it's like, I just gotta go harder. It's literally just that.
And it's something
like,
that so you really don't. Were you like this in school? Were you like this in anywhere else? Like, do you feel like academically you were like that? Do you feel like when you really look back at your childhood, were you always like that?
yes, I will say for certain things, for sure. In school, we used to have like these projects when I was in high school, and like, I mean, I worked hard through high school, but there was these like big projects we would have every year. Like, there was the law magnet, science magnet, art magnet, and that every time we had that project, it was just like, I'm finna get that number one spot every year, like every year. And I think I did maybe 3 out of the 4 years of high school. I got like number one, and it would be throughout the whole magnet, I believe, or at least throughout the whole grade for that magnet, I believe. So yeah.
Damn, what high school did you go to?
Northeast.
And that's a magnet, right?
Yep.
What middle school did you go to?
Allison.
Allison. And so you full-fledged grew up here in Wichita, but you were born
Dallas.
in Dallas. So you moved here how old were you?
When I was a baby.
So just grew up in Wichita.
But I will say, before elementary school, I did spend a lot of time like in Caldwell, Texas. My grandma had a farm there.
Oh, really?
So I was a country girl at first.
Yeah.
And then from elementary on, because that's also when she passed away, was early elementary. I've been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. I didn't know you was out there in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Country girl. You know you be seeing me with the horses.
Yeah, you do like them horses. You do like them horses. I see you like kicking in with the Mexicans a lot. You're always going out there and wearing them boots. Yeah, that's funny. But that's crazy because I'm trying to depict like who you, like how you developed into this mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that a lot of people don't have. You know what I mean? And everybody's different, of course. You're never going to find the same person twice. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to Eric. I'll talk to Ivan. Some of the most successful barbers that ever came out of Wichita, you know what I mean? And I really try to find everybody's niche. Like, this is why this person's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, their mindset's like this. You know what I mean? And for you, there's no cutting corners because, I mean, you're a crispy barber. You know what I mean? But I think you know now that it's not all about that. It's all about like the hard work that you put in, right? Because I think that's where your value really genuinely is, right? Like, is that what you value the most? Is the hard work that you put in?
Yes, and my clients.
Your clients?
Yeah.
You like them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I really connected to my clients.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could ever move away.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like I have such a good connection with a lot of them. And, you know, they've been down with me for so long. Like, literally, just the simple fact, so many people were coming to my house in the trenches, you know, 9th and Grove. It's like, and all kinds of people at that, you know. It's just like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel really connected to them.
Yeah. And not only that, man, I think they pour into you.
Yeah.
And you pour into them. You know what I mean? Because one of the things that I think I've always talked about in meetings is that, man, we really need to try to have a conversation with them that they can't really have anywhere else. You know what I mean? And to me, sometimes I think that's what makes the day go by fast, is having these talks with your clients. And next thing you know, like, damn, it's lunchtime. You know what I mean? I didn't cut 5-6 heads and it's already lunchtime.
Right.
I didn't even feel it because I was talking to them the whole time. You know what I mean? When it comes to your female clients that you do their brows, is there one that stands out besides the all the ones that was coming to the house? You know, because I feel like you have like quite a few that come through that have been holding it down with you for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's not one.
I don't know if I can do that with the girls.
Not with the girls. They really be getting mad.
They really gonna be feeling some type
Well,
of way.
which one's a couple though? Like, which one's a couple that you really like?
that I really like?
I mean, that do you like doing their brows?
No, I do like doing their brows.
Yeah.
A couple of the clients that I really like. I don't know.
They gonna be.
I really
mad.
honestly can't like think of them. I have it's so many, and a lot of them been around for so long. I just literally can't even think of like not even 3 people. Like I can't even think.
How many clients have you checked on your Squire? How many clients do you have?
No, I haven't checked.
You haven't checked?
Nah.
I haven't had about 700. Do you remember? You probably up there though.
I do need to
Next
check.
time you check, you need to check because you're definitely up there because you're knocking them out. How many have you counted about how many you do a day?
It honestly just varies between like how many people have booked a haircut and how many. Yeah.
But do you have like an average?
Not that I can think of.
Really?
Because it's just like some days I have none. I just have straight haircuts. Some days I got straight eyebrows. A couple months ago, I literally had a day straight eyebrows and then like a little lineup in between. And I actually vlogged that, or I actually did a video that day. It was like a how much I made in a day video.
I remember that video.
Yeah.
When you was counting the money with your nails all popping out.
Yeah. So it varies. It's never consistent on how many I do of each every day.
Is it easy for you to separate? Because you're a busy barber. Is it easy for you? Or is it hard for you to clock out when you get off of work?
Yes.
It is easy, or
no, it's hard.
It's hard.
Yes,
Why?
it's hard.
Like, what happens?
Just because I'm so busy, people are always hitting me up. I just feel like I'm always working. Like, it's always can I get squeezed in? You really don't got nothing for this time? Or, like, et cetera. Always. So I definitely do feel like I'm always still working, even after I clock out.
Yeah. But, like, let's say you're having a conversation with your friend outside of work, and, like, do you catch yourself sometimes thinking about, like, work instead of listening to the conversation?
Yeah.
Does that happen often?
Yeah.
That's the entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That happens all the time to me, and it's tough.
This past month, I be waking up out of my sleep thinking about what else I can do. Like, this past month, I literally wake up out of my sleep, like, going and checking my social media, like, looking up something, watching something pertaining to barbering, or simply just thinking, like, what else can I do?
Really?
Yes, this past month, a lot.
Man, bruh, that's crazy. Because, like, a lot has happened for you in a month.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Have you been able to, like, is it hard to digest it? Like, it's hard
Yes.
to, yeah? Yeah?
Yes, definitely. Being out of town this weekend and people coming up to me saying, "You that barber girl?" It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
That's a lot to digest.
Yeah. How's that feel?
It feels good. It feels good. It's been good so far, I would say. People ain't doing too much.
Just because it's still new.
Because it's still new. But it does also kind of feel like weird just because it was so fast, It's like I wasn't expecting I guess I have kind of been popping a little bit more than just this past month. So, but it's still just kind of like, this is fresh.
Yeah.
It's fresh. Just to be in another city, 5 hours away from home, and someone say, "You that barber girl," is like, yeah.
People
Yeah.
haven't stopped you here in Wichita?
In Wichita, no. I think people are like shy to do it because we're in Wichita, so it's probably
small.
like, obviously, yes, that's her.
Yeah. And it's so small.
Yeah.
Do you feel like now that you have like this presence on social media, because you do have a presence on social media now, like, does it feel like, do you wake up sometimes and does it feel heavy? Like, damn, I have to do this or I have to do that. Do you feel that heaviness now? Because I don't think it's the same that it was like a year ago, right? So do you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say about last month again, like 2 weeks into the month, I was like, this is too much. Like, I don't know if I can keep this up. Like, it's hard. So yeah, it definitely does. I definitely do wake up and it feels heavy. And then just the simple fact of posting on social media and people having their opinions about the clients that I'm posting or me. I mean, it's not really many negative comments about myself, but it does feel heavy, just the simple fact sometimes people go too far on the internet, you know, talking about people, and that kind of be hard because it's like, dang, this post is doing so good, yet somebody may be in the comments saying something negative about the person I'm posting, then I feel bad because it's like, if they see this, how do they feel about this, you know? That part, it definitely does feel heavy because it's like, that's a part of it. And it's like, you can't get away from it because that's a part of it. So
how have you been dealing with that?
I just
kind of ignore it.
Yeah. And I just hope that the people who are being posted, you know,
understand.
They understand and they don't let it get to them. Because I mean, these are people on social media who will probably never see in real life ever, you know. So.
Yeah. Do you feel like you growing up in this era of social media, because like you're younger, you know, and like, was social media something that you always wanted to like build like your brand in, your name in? Do you feel like since you were younger, it's something like, man, I want to have this social media presence?
Yes, because when I was younger, I used to want to be a model. So social media has always been a thing for me. When I was in middle school, I think I was like, when Instagram was fresh, I was on there. Like, I was on there when it was fresh. So I think social media has always been a thing to me. And yep, it's always kind of been like a...
Just because you wanted to be a model back then.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm up on the Instagram thing.
That's funny. Can you share, I'm not sure if this is, because you shared something earlier, but like, can you share a moment in your career, like these last 4 years, maybe at work or maybe after work, that was like tough, that you were like, man, I feel like giving up, I don't want to do this, then maybe you started pondering doing other things? Do you feel like, can you share a moment that like what happened and how you dealt with it, and looking back at it now, what do you think about it?
I'll say I did start like at the beginning of this year. I started to try to do YouTube like for my personal self and not like barber content or anything. And it was just too much. It was just too much. I just couldn't handle it, like working so much and trying to also work outside of my actual job, because YouTube and I mean just being a social media influencer is another job. Like a content creator, that is another job. And I was just like, it's just too much. I can't do it, you know? So I did stop the whole YouTube thing for myself and just got back into working. And now that I've been doing the whole content thing with my barber stuff, it's like,
looking back at it,
it's like, this is probably going to help me for that, you know, if I would like to get back into that. Or this might be what, or this might be what I need to do for that, if that makes sense. Like, I was trying to do the YouTube thing for my personal self when this is still me doing social media for my personal self, just in a different way, in a way that actually works. Like, what I was trying to do probably wasn't the way to do it, because it was just, you know, it probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere because it wasn't meant for me to do it that way. It's like, this might have been the way for me to do what I was trying to do.
Yeah. Because you're showing your actual lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like things you're doing literally on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
And it's literally you. It's authentic. The music you play behind the videos is authentic. Everything is authentic about like everything you've been posting. It's literally just your haircuts and your style and just your whole vibe. You know, that's been, and you probably feel good about it because like, man, like I'm blowing up and it's just like me being myself. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that's for you right now that you have this presence, that you like, man, I need to continue to keep being myself and not switch it up? Do you think about that?
Definitely, yes. Definitely. And I don't even know what I would think to do other than be myself. Like, I literally don't know what else I would do, because I only know how to be, you know, authentic. So
yeah, don't switch up, because sometimes we get caught up in like, damn, this shit ain't working no more. I gotta switch up, do this. It's okay to adjust. Just don't change who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
think you agree with that.
Yes.
And I think you've been in the game long enough to know that, like, I ain't gonna do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Do you feel like now that you're in this stage of your career, looking back at like everything that you've been at, and you still have a lot to grow, you still have a lot of things to accomplish, you still have a lot of ways to go, and I think that there's baby steps to your growth and everything you got going on. But like, how important has your family and friends and everybody around you been to you? Because I feel like, yeah, you work hard and you do all this stuff, but how important are they to you on a day-to-day basis?
Definitely very important. I feel like the place I want to get to is a place of where I could take care of my family.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely very important. I literally save so much, but I always make sure to give back to my family, I guess I could say.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I started getting money, I bought my mom a Louis Vuitton bag. That was the first piece of designer I ever bought. I'm like, so it's definitely, and not even necessarily to just be materialistic, but, just the comfortability that comes with, being successful and having the money and having those things, I definitely my family is one of the biggest factors in it, just to be able to
Take care of them.
take care of my family.
Yeah. To you, I mean, when you speak about your mom, you speak about your mom a lot. How important is she to your success and everything you got going on?
She's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
She means a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both my parents for sure.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for my dad, I don't know. Would I have went to college, and then how would college have went? Just trying to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I hear you talk about your mom, when I hear you talk about your pops, they definitely played a big role in how they raised you and who you are today. You know what I'm saying? Especially, like, sometimes I hear you talk about your mom and how she's very giving, and so are you. You know what I mean? Especially with the people around you. But whenever I started this podcast, there's a question that I ask for everybody. You know what I mean? And it's a question that I think about to myself all the time, because it gives me direction on where I want to go and how I want to move, and like how I want to raise my kids and how I want to do everything. It's a deep question, but I mean, you are young, but it's something that I ask everybody, and it's something that I think we all should know for us to keep going forward. What's looking forward? Let's say you're like 55 years old, you're older now, you're grown, you're very grown, you're very successful, you accomplished all the things you wanted to accomplish because you was relentless and never stopped going, right? And you were able to take care of your family, you were able to do all the things you really wanted to do. Looking back at it, like looking back at all the success and everything, what do you feel like you want to be remembered for? When people think of Cedra, like, what do you want to be remembered for? Your clients, your friends, your family.
That's deep.
Yeah.
What do I want to be remembered for? Just being like an authentic, like, helpful, always show up for people.
Mm-hmm.
Or not always show up for people, always show up for people that are there for me. Always show up for who showed up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Always looked out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a good person. Like, just a good person that looked out for the people that she loved.
For sure.
And that helped her get to where she got in life. Because I definitely will say, like, my family and my clients are the reason for everything.
For sure. Man, and that's real. And I think that's the best answer you could give, because that answer is literally you. You know what I mean? So that was it. You know what I mean? And I think everybody got to really hear you and really see who you are and how you came up and everything. And I just want to say I'm proud of you, you know, because I've seen you from the beginning to where you are now.
The beginning.
You know what I mean? But I tell you this, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? And going forward, I'm not surprised in whatever you do. You know what I mean? Because I have high expectations for you. Not only for you, but for everybody on the team. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of you. And like I said, I want to touch base in a couple years and see where you at again. You know what I mean? And hopefully you're like, we're going to come back and look at this conversation. You remember when I was, I was still a kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So thanks for coming on. And
thank you.
We'll be back in a couple years.
All right.
Cool?
Yep.
Thanks.
I got tongue twisted when I was talking about my mom and my dad. I was like, can we restart?
Were you getting emotional a little bit when we were chopping it up?
Yeah, I always do though.
Yeah, I know you do. I noticed you wasn't trying to talk about it. I was trying to.
You were trying to make me cry on the podcast.
Yeah, I was. I was. You did good though. It was cool.